Lighting's gonna be terrible, audio's gonna be terrible, but here we go! New My Hero movie. I really liked it. I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I did. I'm one of those people. I don't even want to say one of those people. I don't know what the general consensus is. God, the lighting is going to be terrible in this. I might record most of this video when I get home. I really liked the first two movies. The third one had some really cool animation. That's it. And Clairvoyance. Clairvoyance was such a dumb name. I love that. Beyond that, the third one was alright. I didn't love the third movie. This fourth one I liked quite a bit. I thoroughly enjoyed this film. Darkmite, I don't remember his actual name, it was said 2 or 3 times towards the end of the film, but by then I was so ingrained with Darkmite that I didn't properly click with it. Yeah, really fun sort of charismatic villain taking the wrong lessons from All Might, which I really liked. Like, oh, people respect him because they fear him, and he's so powerful, he's so strong, and the people fear him. The weak worship him because he's so strong. And it's that little line that he gets in that really brief flashback right at the end. That no. All Might became strong because of what he believed and what he wanted to stand for. So to facilitate that, he became strong, rather than being strong and having that sort of projected onto him, which is what he thought would happen to him, being really strong and being just like All Might. I really liked that. I feel like most of 1A kind of got shafted here. It was cool when the class was all sort of split up into the different areas, and we had Deku with Ochako and Sero and Sue, though Deku quickly got separated from them so we could spend time with our, I forget what exactly Bakugo calls him, but like, oh, new one-off side character or something. Giglio, I think. No, I liked him and Deku spending time together. He was, while Roddy in the third one, who I like Roddy a lot. I'd like to see him again. I was a little disappointed we only saw his siblings in that little montage in season 7 of all the movie specific characters. While Roddy felt like, he was designed to be cool. And he was cool. Giglio in this felt a lot more sort of suave, and it felt like he was just naturally kind of cool, which worked rather well. And I loved, right at the end, how fucking blind he was. When he was seemingly kind of heartless and saying, okay, well, my job's over, my contract is fulfilled, you no longer have to spend time with me, yada yada yada, turns and immediately starts walking away. Because he genuinely didn't know she liked him. That was really funny. And he had quite a few funny lines in this film as well. No, I liked him a lot. Anna was just a sort of standard damsel in distress. We didn't get to see much of her. She was sort of brainwashed for most of the film. But her quirk, kind of, yeah, it's your typical enhancements, just sort of all around buff that characters seem to get in these movies. You had David Shield's device, the quirk like enhancement diadem thing in the first film. In the second that wasn't really present. There was Nine who's just sort of collecting quirks, and just that he had multiple was the threat. But in the first one, it was centered around this device to boost quirks. The third film was the villains, some of the villains anyway, using Trigger to boost their quirks. Trigger popping up and Trigger derivatives and similar things in the main series. So here, her quirk is something that boosts other quirks, which we've had before, like La Brava with Lovers, and the like, but where La Brava's is, her quirk boosts a specific object of her affections. Here, it's just anyone that touches her. It is constantly active, whether she wants it to or not. So people just grab her by the that first sort of villain at the beginning is just running around with her as a hostage. getting boosted by her. Deku bumps his shoulder off her and gets rejected because he's not compatible. But I like it, again, it's different. It wasn't just the same thing again, which is good, because when quirks get repetitive, it implies to us, the viewer, that okay, wow, this is a quirk that just exists. There's quite a lot of, it's a common thing. Like, as Toya acknowledges, oh, did you not think I was your son? Because fire quirks are just so common. There's quite a few quirks that are just people make blades, you know, there's a lot of quirks that are just repetitive. So it's cool when we get unique ones. When they're like this, they're big and pivotal, if that makes sense. But I also like when the mundane characters have unique quirks. I really liked the opening few villains. There was that guy who sort of possessed the truck that was reminiscent of Mimic in the Shia Saigai arc. I liked that, but it was more sort of anthropomorphized, I guess, in the design. That was cool. And the sort of bouncy ball guy, that was fun. I said in my reaction to the trailer that I hoped the other villains that were on Dark Might's side would stand out. And while I have forgotten most of their names, they did. I thought it interesting. Okay, so there was the quirk like Erasure guy, who essentially had a field that he could project around him, and anything within that would have its quirk negated, though he could make a smaller field within that would still be regular space, and quirks would be unaffected. It was like Erasure within a donut shape. That was cool. That's different. We've only had really one Erasure quirk so far, and that was Eraserhead. That's Aizawa, who noticeably wasn't in this movie. I did think at a couple points that, oh, if Aizawa just if he was on the wall of the UA barrier and looked ahead, he could just erase this guy's quirk. He could just erase this. He could just erase this. Which I guess at this time he's still kind of recovering. He could potentially at this time still be at the hospital after having cut his own leg off. Actually, so that's fine. That's fine. There was the dream sort of mind control, Delilah, I think her name was. That was good. There was a femme fatale, spider web design, puppeteering people. That was fun. I liked her. The little laughing telekinetic guy perched on the big mute teleporter. They were a good team up. I liked that duo. That was a good fun one to delay Bakugo and Todoroki enough so they could come in toward the end and help out Deku. And yeah, I don't know what the quirk of the one D&D Dungeon Master guy was. Initially I thought he was like controlling all the monsters, but then maybe he was only controlling some of the monsters, because the other ones with the sort of suits and the face guards, they were being controlled by Dark Might, so maybe not. I wasn't too sure what his quirk was. But other than that, good villain team. Not as strong a unit, I felt, as not as strong a unit as Nine's team in the second film, but I think that's just because we got more screen time with Nine's team versus this was a larger team. We had more of them to show off. I liked the heroes on the outside of the fortress, sort of helping with the evacuation and catching the civilians and everything, and then trying to break in to help right at the end. That was good. It's a small thing, but I really liked the moment where Bakugo strategizes and sort of delegates jobs to everyone in 1A, and noticeably calls them all by their names. Look how far he's come. He calls everyone by their names, and I like. Okay, we're gonna run to the big final big boss. We're gonna go fight the big boss now, and the team that he chooses to do that is himself, obviously. Shoto, Deku, and also Tokoyami, who Bakugo acknowledges as being strong enough to go with the big three of 1A, which is cool as someone who likes Tokoyami. But also, like, makes sense. He placed third in the sports festival. He did much better than Deku did, you know? because Deku intentionally lost. But still, Bakugo sort of picking him out as well as the top 4. That was really cool. I really liked that moment for Bakugo, again, acknowledging everyone by their names. That was great. Only to moments later address the the new side character as the new side character. I do feel like the majority of 1A was kind of sidelined, again, once they all sort of come together and get all the details on what's actually going on. They all start evacuating the civilians while, again, Bakugo sort of leads the team to go fight Dark Might. Tokiyami splits off, and he and Todoroki split off, and then Deku goes through to the final, but the rest of them are just sort of a little bit sidelined in the climax there, I felt. They got some cool little action beats, fighting this unending horde, until the pros came in and then they helped fight this unending horde. Which was needed, because otherwise you have the question of why weren't they all fighting Dark Might? They had to be doing something. And evacuating all the captured people makes complete sense. I did like the opening and everything. I liked Deku being known as the Jailbreaker Hunter. And all of 1A after... So this is after they've saved Deku. They've saved Deku from the Dark Deku Vigilante arc before the start of the new season, start of season 7. So in that time, yeah, they were all hunting down the Jailbreakers together. That's great. And then this whole movie happens, and then there is a post-credit scene, which is All For One sat in his chair and Tomura lying on the ground and his eye opens. Which is ready to roll into the new season. Well, at time of recording, the season that just ended. There wasn't a massive turnout for this. Whereas previous My Hero movies that I've gone to see in the cinema, namely the first 2, it was full, it was a full house. Here, they were only showing the dub... Sorry, they showed the dub twice earlier today, and they showed the sub once at 10 o'clock at night. So probably due to that timing, there were 3 people in my screening, me and a couple, and that was it. We had a little chat at the end, we all really liked it, but the 2 of them had not yet watched the new season, and I'm envious of them, because season 7 was a great season. And now they can go home and just binge it, versus me, who's going home, and I've already watched everything that's currently out, all the OVAs, all the movies, all the show. I'm fully caught up with My Hero Academia once again. And I just gotta wait however long until the next season, and I imagine there'll be one more movie, and that's gonna be us. There'll be one more movie to come out in tandem with the final season, and I reckon that's gonna be us. Or there might not be, I guess. Oh, that's quite an echo. Wow. Well, if I don't record anything else when I get home, if I don't have any sudden epiphanies, that is my initial thoughts on the movie. I really enjoyed it. I think it is my 3rd favourite of the films. Possibly on rewatch, it might get bumped up to my 2nd, but for now, I think my ranking is still sort of... Again, I alternate on whether the 1st or 2nd is better, but today, I'm saying it's 2nd film, 1st film, 4th film, 3rd film. I'm saying this new one is my 2nd least favourite, but it's also my 3rd favourite. The 3rd film I don't love, but this one was solid. This was a solid contemporary of the first 2. This felt pretty on par for the whole series. It didn't feel like a particularly weak entry or anything. No, I enjoyed it. There weren't many standout moments of Sakuga, actually. Instead, just sort of throughout was pretty good animation. There was no point in the film where I went, yeah, they're saving on budget here. It's just a still shot. There was no point where that stood out to me. Where I was like, okay, this is them saving money to spend more time on a different beat. Instead, the whole thing felt pretty darn consistent. Gosh, I hate filming at night. There were a couple moments specifically with Todoroki. I felt the animators really liked Todoroki here in the final climax. He got a few really good sequences. So did Midoriya. Midoriya got some good bits. Bakugo, again, a lot of effects, animation with him, with all the explosions. Yeah, it was great. It was very well done. It all looked great. It all sounded great. It was all well directed, action-wise, and the story was good. This felt in line with the rest of the series. It felt like I really liked that the villain was taking a different spin on such a pivotal moment in the story that now it's your turn beat. That was such a pivotal, important bit. And like that he has, for one, a unique take on it, and also it's kind of a perversion of it, which was great. And that's the focal sort of anchor, the point, the main core crux of this film. I think makes it worthwhile. It was really good. Not the best My Hero film, not the best film, but a really good one, a really solid one. I'm kind of surprised after the third one how much I liked this one. Equally, maybe because of the third one, my bar was set really low. The third one's not bad. I feel like I'm ragging on it, but it's not great. Okay, yeah, I think that's going to be me for this video. I'm going to get home, see how this audio turned out, and get this uploaded. Thank you so much for watching. That is probably it for My Hero videos this year. So if you only watch my channel for those, I'll see you in 2025. If you're going to hang around, again, up next on the channel, we're going to be covering The Legends of Vox Machina Season 3 and The Umbrella Academy Season 4. I think I'm going to do them both. So hang around. I will post an upload schedule once I have that figured out. And until then, bye.